Hello coaches, how are we doing? Today I want to answer a question from one of you that I think is so symptomatic of why we have so many coaches that are so overworked. They feel tired, they feel like they're doing all the things, they're building all the things, and yet no results, or very few results. So the results you have just feel like pulling teeth. If that sounds like you, I need you to listen on and catch me on the other side. Hey coach, Luz Gonzalez here, co-founder of the Monetized Coach movement. We have a Facebook group, we have programs, we have a ton of support at the wazoo, and we have worked with thousands of coaches just like you to make sure that you master the art and the science of coaching, and specifically of the 10K months, because we don't want more broke coaches out there. Can we get an amen on today's a Tuesday here, but if you're catching this on a Sunday, if you're catching this on a Wednesday, can we get an amen? Because we don't need more broke, busy coaches. And I did a rant before, and today I was scrolling through and it came up again. So I am actually going to read you the post that is at the source of this video, because I think it'll be helpful for you guys, and you guys will probably find a bit of yourselves in it. So let me dive in. Okay, so this person said, and the reason that I'm speaking to this post, it's because it's so symptomatic of what Matt and I see in the coaching world. You guys are working really hard, but you feel like you're frustrated and you're doing all the things. So you're not alone, okay? So this is what this said. Guys, I'm so overwhelmed with everything. I have a website that sucks, I guess. No email marketing connected to it. I'm a mess. I'm in the middle of creating my ebook. There's so much of everything. Funnels, websites, etc. My head is exploding. Maybe you have felt this way. And so what I responded was, here's what's going on. You're doing too much. You're doing too many things that you have you should not be doing so many of these things. You've heard me talk about the 7 steps of profitability. If you haven't, go look for the video that says 7 steps of profitability, or just go to highticketclientonline.com, go to the learn and section, and then you're going to scroll down, and the very first tab that you see is going to be mastering the 10K month. In that training, we talk about the 7 steps for profitability as a coach. It needs to become your Bible. It is so important that we do things in order. So what she talked about is she's confused and she is overwhelmed when it comes to email marketing. She has a website that she thinks is not working, funnels, websites, etc. All these things belong to step 4. I'm not going to go through all of the steps, but by speaking about the fact that it's step 4, you know what step it's not? It's not step 1, it's not step 2, it's not even step 3, it's step 4. There are 3 things that are primary, that are so important for you to master before you start touching anything having to do with branding and with marketing. I just finished a really amazing ebook that talks about this. It's how to make sure that you can create a package that sells like crazy. If you want it, just write ebook in the comments and I'll send it to you. So in the ebook, we talk about the principles that you must know, the steps. There's a checklist. It's the ultimate checklist to packages that sell like crazy for coaches, right? So we have a checklist and we walk you through the things that you need to do to make sure that you have a package over $1,000, that's what we're guiding you to, that sells like crazy. And you do so easily, without the stress, without the overwhelm, without the oh but my God, there's a gazillion things I need to be doing. No, there's not. There's not a gazillion things you need to be doing. That is this pervasive, harmful myth that is coming from the world of coaching that tells you that you need to be building funnels, you need to be building masterminds, you need to be building, ebooks, you need to be building a gazillion things. And the reality is you don't. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a place and a time for all of these things. There's a place and a time for your website. There's a place and a time for ads and for funnels. These are very powerful things. But these things branding and marketing, specifically marketing, right? When we talk about marketing, we're talking about like your website, we're talking about ebooks, we're talking about, you know, all of these things that get you in touch with people, and that get more people. So many of you think like, I just don't have enough people. And it's like, no, your problem isn't that you don't have enough people. The problem is that there's not enough people saying like, I want that thing. And that sounds really harsh. And this is coming from a really loving place because I want you to make money. I want you to be successful, right? What I was telling this person here is, on average, what we hear from, you know, we've worked with thousands of coaches. What we hear from coaches is they would feel really good making anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 plus per month, right? That's what they need to be able to pay for the rent, for their you know, their food, their bills, all of the basics that need to be covered. $3,000 to $10,000 plus. To do that, you are going to have a strategy, right? A successful strategy. We like to think of it like a recipe. When you have a recipe, how do you make the cake? You just follow the recipe. Did you guys know? The same thing is true for your coaching business. It doesn't have to be rocket science, and the thing is that it is not rocket science. It is actually as simple as a chocolate cake recipe. It's just like baking. If you've never baked, just think of following any sort of recipe, or maybe, I don't know if you're in the United States and you're like me, you love IKEA furniture. It's weird, but I love putting together IKEA furniture. It's just steps, right? Everybody can do it. You just follow the steps, and then at the end, you get a table. And if like someone over there, my neighbor does it or that neighbor does it, they still get a table. The same thing is true in terms of the simplicity with building a coaching business that is profitable. But the thing is that sometimes what happens is you are attaching the leg to the place where it does not belong, and then you like wind up and you're like, this is not a table. I don't know what this is, but it's not a table, right? Or you're like, I'm just gonna put in some eggs and some butter and some flour and the oven, and a cake's gonna come out, and it comes out, you're like, oh, that's really gross. I definitely don't want to eat that. But then we look at our coaching businesses and we're like, but I have a website, I have ads, I have funnels, it should work. That's not how it works. Okay, so let's talk about, so then she said, well, now I'm really confused because I have heard from people in the industry that I should be focused on, I'm going to call them low tier strategies, right? So what is the low tier strategy? So specifically here, you know, she was referring to an ebook, right? Okay, let's replace ebook with anything that's under $100, guys, okay? Anything that's under $100, especially if you're a beginner coach, I don't want you touching it. That, no one tells you this, that is an advanced or intermediate strategy that beginner coaches that are not making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 have no business touching, okay? Until you are confidently and consistently making, I mean, even $3,000, but it has to be consistent. You have to know how to do this like clockwork. You have to just know how to bring in $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, and you just do it. And you have a system for that. Until that's in place, low tier, you shouldn't be selling or touching anything that's under $100. Why? Right? So she was like, well, why? These people on the internet, these big name gurus are telling me that I should sell a mastermind, that I should sell an ebook, that I should start with something, you know, like that's like that so I can validate or whatever. Okay, do you want to validate selling something that's going to have you doing more work, or you want to validate something that absolutely sells, that allows you to pay your rent and your bills and all those things and make anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 consistently, and make sure that you are doing that like clockwork, right? So for our clients, we work with coaching clients, we work with coaches specifically. Our rule for them is you do not have permission to ever do free. We don't do free. Free, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's so exciting, please give me that thing, give me that thing. Even free, I would say, there's a space for free, but you just have to have the right strategy. When it comes to your coaching, when it comes to like your actual coaching, the stuff you're putting out into the world, there's no space for free, okay? There's space for free when it comes to some content, there's space for free when it comes to some lead magnets, and that's at step 4. We're not talking steps 1, 2, 3, right? Like this is a later step. It's still something that you guys will need to learn about, but it's not the first things that you do. So what we tell our clients is you do not have permission to sell your services or provide your coaching services for free. And you do not have permission to sell or bring on clients for anything under $1,000. Now, why $1,000? Because here's what you're trying to do. You are trying to convince, this is really what's happening. You're trying to convince a stranger on the internet that you've never met. This is business. Stranger on the internet that doesn't know you, that you've never met, that doesn't know like why you do what you do, doesn't know how you do it. You're trying to convince this stranger that they should give you $1,000 to $2,500 to $5,000 to $10,000 of their hard-earned money, their precious money, sometimes like a big chunk of their savings, right? Like this is a big effort. You're trying to have this stranger give you thousands of dollars and say, yes, I want to work with you. I trust you. I believe in you enough that here is $1,000 or more. To do that, you need to make sure that you're actually, like, so many things have to be in place. This isn't hard though. So many pieces that is just like following the recipe, the cake recipe, have to be in place for someone who's a stranger on the internet to go like, yeah, I would love to pay you $5,000. I am in. When you do that well, and you do it multiple times, we tell our clients, you can't touch products, right? You can't start touching an ebook or a course or a podcast or any of those things until you have, these aren't big numbers, until you have sold at least 3 programs, right? And we coach you on how to construct the program. Until you have done 3 programs that are selling over $1,000. When you have validated that in the market, right? And there's market research. Again, I think you guys should definitely get the ebook. If you want the ebook, just type ebook and I'll send you the ebook. We talk about all of these steps. You have to first validate in the market. So by the time our clients are creating their businesses, they already know. They know that it's going to be very likely that they're going to be successful because they've done the research, they've done the work, they have the numbers, they have the data. We are one of the only coaches out there, the coaching, spaces and tribes and, coaches for coaches, guides out there, mentors, sensei, we call ourselves Monetization Sensei, that focuses on data, which is so wild to me. I come from the world of Silicon Valley. I come from the world of startups and I come from the world of law, especially in the world of startups. Everything is numbers-based, data. The data speaks. The numbers tell you what's going to work and what's working. And the market, this sounds a little abstract, but the market is always telling you what's going to be successful. So when you're building your business, none of this should be rocket science. If you're really lost, if you're really confused, something that's probably really simple just needs to be tweaked a little bit. And then it should be so much ease. Like when we think of easefulness in our business, that feels so nice, right? Easefulness. That's how building a business should feel. It doesn't mean that it's not hard work, but it should be as easeful as following a recipe. And when you're following a recipe and you have mentors in the room, they'll go like, oh, let's do, you want to like wisp just a little bit faster, or you want to like tilt it this way, right? You're going to have extra guidance, but even if you don't have them in the room, you're still following the recipe and you're still going to get a cake at the end of the day, unless you really, really screw it up. But for the most part, you're still going to get a cake. And so when you are feeling like I'm doing all the things and like something is going wrong. So by selling something over $1,000 and convincing a stranger on the internet that they should trust you, and getting them to a place because of your integrity and because of your heart-led service and because of the things that you've provided and the packages that you created that you shared with them and they said, yes, absolutely, I'm in for over $1,000, then you have validated in the market that you have something that's working. And it's only at that point when you've sold that to 3 people. Again, this is the coaching that we give our clients. So once you've sold that to 3 people at a very minimum, then you have some permission. You've done validation. You have validation in the market that you've created something of such high value that if you turn it into a lower tier or mid-tier product, right? At the beginning, you're going to focus on services. You shouldn't be doing products. What are products? Products are things that you can deliver without you being part of the delivery. Products are things that you provide where you don't need to be there. Like a book, like an ebook, like a course, like anything that doesn't require you sharing your time and like having that sort of relationship, right? Like group coaching is a service. One-on-one coaching is a service. Any sort of hybrid where you still show up and you have an engagement and relationship with them is a service. We recommend for all of our clients to start with a service. We don't think that until you have validated and you consistently are bringing in enough profit, you have no business building products. That is what we believe. It is different from many other things out there, but honestly, here let's just look at the math, okay? $10,000. If you're selling something for 27 bucks, right? Like let's do ebooks probably sell for less than that. But let's look at a mastermind or a book or like a thing, right? You're selling a product for 27 bucks and you're trying to make $10,000. So that's $10,000 divided by 27 bucks. That's 370, let's see, 370.4. So let's just call it 370 sales that you need to make on a monthly basis when most of you are starting with 0 to very small audiences, which then means like, okay, so you have a very small audience, you're trying to sell this thing at 27 bucks. Now that means you're gonna need funnels, you're gonna need ads. All of these are advanced strategies that people who are just starting have no business touching, because this is what's gonna happen. We see this again and again. These are like hypotheticals. These are the stories of very real people who did all of these things. They spent, thousands of dollars on ads and got no results, and they just felt like they were working so hard and like the business wasn't growing because they were missing the fundamentals of steps, basically 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are going to be defining your niche, your profitability, doing the market research. Step 3 is creating a package, creating your offers, having the pricing come out right, branding your offers, like the positioning. All of those pieces happen in 2 and 3, and they are the most important things that you need to do to be successful as a coach. Then you expand those, you expand through branding and marketing and sales, right? Like branding and marketing, make it easy to sell, and then selling should feel like, this easeful, fun thing that you do, and people just roll in, and like it just feels easeful. It's not gonna feel easeful if you have to sell 370 things, and then you have to think like, well, what's the conversion rate? If I send an ad out to so many people, how many of those people that actually reach my funnel convert? And then you're probably gonna need to build a complicated funnel, which is gonna mean you're gonna have to go to, some service, and you're gonna have to build multiple pages. You wanna make sure that those are optimized, and you're gonna have to do upsells and downsells and you're like all the things. And my goodness, really? You wanna spend every single month super stressed because you don't have 100,000 followers trying to sell 370 things at 27 bucks when if you say you just need 5,000 bucks, right? Like 5,000 bucks, you're like, it's not amazing, but I'm good. 2 sales at an average of 2,500. 2! Like, then all of your time goes to 2 sales, or maybe 3, or maybe 4. But with 2 to 4, maybe 5 sales a month, you can bring in anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000 plus, and make sure that you're validating in the market, make sure that your bills are paid for, make sure that your rent is paid for, make sure that you're actually building a sustainable business, that you're not freaking out because you just, quit your 9 to 5 and now you're struggling to sell something for 27 bucks and you don't know what's going wrong, you're not making rent, something's not working, and you're super stressed. And you're gonna continue to be stressed if you continue to stay on a low tier focus. So, lesson takeaway here. And I get passionate about this because I care about you guys. And because I've been there, right? I spent months selling things, for 20 seconds, because I went to the events, and I went to the trainings, I went to the webinars, and I was like, oh, no, but you don't understand. They're like, they know their stuff, and they told me that, I should start here. I should start with, subscription or mastermind or ebook or whatever it is, and I'm gonna listen. And then finally, I paid a lot of money to be part of a coaching program. And they said exactly what, and what I'm telling you guys here. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. I'm different. I can work with everybody. I can serve everybody. This is going to be great. You just don't understand. And the thing is, if people are telling you, especially if they have a focus on working with people just like you, say we work just with coaches, they understand the market. They understand these things. And so, I supported an organization, a multi-million-dollar organization that supports, tons of coaches and has for like decades. And they say the same thing. Like, as a beginner coach, you have no business. Nobody has any business focusing on selling anything that's under $1,000 because you're just going to make your life so much harder. And it is so much harder to sell 370 things at $27. Okay, fine. You're like, but mine's not 27 bucks. It's 97 bucks. Okay. $97. You're still having to sell over 100 things a month. Whereas guess that coach over there, they're selling 2 or 3 and they're bringing in more money. So your choice at the end of the day. And I hope this helps. I think there's so much misinformation in the coaching space, which is why we're here, which is why we do the work that we do, which is why we're so passionate, which is why we have this ebook and we have trainings upon trainings, we have videos. Like, tell us what you need. We have a gazillion resources. Make sure that you join our Facebook group. We have trainings that we do there every single Wednesday for free, live. You get to ask questions, you get to engage. We're sharing the best practices from the world of coaching. Friend me on Facebook, friend me on LinkedIn, friend me, I'm everywhere. Follow me on Instagram, Luz C Gonzalez. So we have our website, which is full of resources and trainings. We have YouTube, we have podcasts, we have our ebook that we just released. We have trainings, our newsletter. Like, we are so committed to you winning, right? And the reason that we do what we do is because we have seen, like, one, we've been there, but we have seen so many people. And this really upsets me, right? Parents, people who are using the retirement money, who have spent just today, guys, just today, we heard from someone that had spent $30,000 on a program. And she was just saying, like, I am not getting the sort of support that I get, if I'm working with you guys. And we have heard this again and again, like, people have invested $20,000 or whatever it is, and then just like not getting the pointed support. Let me tell you something, coach. You don't need more information. You need implementation support. And you need someone in your space looking at your stuff, telling you we need to change the naming of that, we need to change that pricing, we need to tweak your offers, we need to change those colors, we need to tweak this, right? One of our clients, we love our clients, and we were having a conversation, and our job is not to be your friend. We love you as coaches, but our job is to make sure you succeed as coaches. Like, that is why we're here. So I was talking to one of our clients, and she was asking about her website, step 4. If you're not already like successful in, like, if you have questions about Word, we also have a quiz. We have a quiz, guys. Take the quiz. All that's going to be below. Or if you just can't find any of these things, just message me directly. You can find me everywhere. Just message me and I'll send you whatever you need. So step 4, right? Like, working on your website is a step 4 thing. So she's working on her website and she wanted some feedback. And I looked at her website and I was like, look, I'm not here. You're not working with us and investing in our program because you're here to hear, like, good job, you built something. You're here because you're here to have us support you and guide you and tell you what things need changing. And we had a conversation. I was like, we need to make some very significant changes to your website, right? Like, right now, this happens often. Like, this website is about you. It's not about them. And so, she was like, and she said, I'm gonna go have a cry. But I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful you care. And I'm really grateful that you shared this. Sometimes they're hard truths. But guys, I rather tell you hard truths and have you be successful than just give you a superficial, fake pat on the back, tell you you're doing great, when I know that you're leading, like, what I'm leading you to is a place of struggle, hardship, and not making sales. So any day, I will take the tougher road of saying, hey, like, there's an issue here, right? And so if you've ever felt overwhelmed, if you felt like, I just don't know what's going on, talk to us. We have a 15-minute call where we can chat with you and tell you exactly that. Someone on our team will jump on, it could even be me, it could be Matt, and we'll look at where you're working on. We'll tell you where you are in the 7 steps, and we'll say, this is the thing that's actually most important to you. And then if it makes sense, we might support you in other ways. But yes, we have programs, we have free trainings, we have podcasts, we have YouTube, we have newsletter, like all the things. Our life is to support you. And what's kind of cool is our winning is only when you win. So coach, know that we are here for you. We get passionate about this. I get passionate about this because I am so tired of seeing good people work so hard and get so little for their effort, and sometimes for their very hard-earned money. And so we want you to not be the average. It's only about 1%. The statistics say that it's only about 1% of coaches that actually reach the 6-figure mark. And we're trying to break those statistics. We want any coach that wants to build a profitable coaching business to be able to be successful and reach that, and just have the right tools, training, and resources, the guidance, the curriculum for you to be able to do so. So that's it. Luz here. I will catch you again with another video. And until then, keep on going, coach. Your message matters. Your work matters. You've got this. Find good people around you, good mentorship. We're here for you. There's a ton of really great resources in this space. And know that we're sending you lots of love.